Hello, welcome back to my channel, my friends. In this video, I'm going to be reading some Kindle Unlimited romance, and I am so ready for it, honestly. You know, reflecting on 2024, I didn't read enough Kindle Unlimited, didn't make enough use of my subscription, and I'm remedying that in January. We are not going another month, another day, really, without getting some Kindle Unlimited on the books. And my goal in this video is to read books from authors that I have never read from before. I feel like I tend to stick with my tried and trues when it comes to Kindle Unlimited, and I love that. But a lot of the authors that I feel like I tend to read from often are authors that y'all have read from often, and that's, you know, fine and dandy. I don't necessarily shy away from popular books, but I want to be able to provide y'all with some new recommendations from authors that maybe you haven't heard of. There's maybe you've been on the fence about trying. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this here video. I have already picked the books. I already know what the vibe is, and we're going to be reading some sports romances. So I hope you are excited, because I surely am. I'm going to put timestamps in the description down below so you can skip around and find my thoughts and feelings on whatever book you are most interested in. But before we get into it, I have to thank the sponsor of today's video, Parade. You'll know that I love Parade. I'm always genuinely so excited to work with them, and they have given my underwear drawer the biggest glow up over the years. For that, I am very thankful, because my underwear drawer for a while there was in shambles, and now it's looking quite beautiful. Y'all might have noticed maybe that I am looking a little bit different these days. I have gone through some pretty major body changes over the past like 6 months. Had a beautiful underwear drawer stocked with Parade. I'm in a smaller size now, and I wanted my underwear to be more reflective of my current body, so I have restocked once again with even more Parade undies, and I have some new favorites to talk to y'all about. And my go-to undies that I talk to y'all about pretty much every time I collaborate with the Parade are the Replay high-waisted brief. Those are forever in the rotation. They're so silky, so soft, so smooth, look super great under clothes. But Parade has recently come out with a new line that I'm obsessed with. It is their That Lace line, which is absolutely gorgeous and is made of recycled nylon, which I also love. I am trying to be a little bit more sustainable with the choices that I'm making when it comes to the clothing and underwear I'm purchasing, and it makes me feel good knowing that they are rescuing materials that would be otherwise wasted. So I have been wearing the Cheekies in 8-ball. They have been very steady in my rotation over the past month. I love them because they're so beautiful, and yet they're not fussy. I feel like anytime I've had lace undies in the past, they tend to not be very stretchy, they tend to feel kind of itchy, and they just don't really feel appropriate for every day. But that lace, you can wear any time of day, which I love. They're stretchy, they're soft, they're beautiful, and they just give me that added boost of confidence, which I personally am looking for my underwear. It's nice if things fit, it's nice if things are smoothing or whatever. I think it's even better when you can get those things and that added boost of confidence, and that lace gives me that added confidence. And Parade has 10 other pieces in the same fabric, so you can wear lace under your clothes, over your clothes, or as clothes. Got apparel pieces, which I absolutely love, and they have a few different colors to choose from too if you're not interested in black lace like I am. It's a new year, and I believe that we all deserve underwear that fits and makes us feel our absolute best. So if you're interested in restocking your underwear drawer, you can use my code Chandler30 at checkout to get 30% off of your order. Thanks again to Parade for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's get reading. Okay, I decided to start with Chase Lovett Wants Me by Helena Hunting. I picked this one up because the cover was cute, and I feel like I keep seeing this author's books on the Amazon bestseller list, and I have DNF'd one of her books in the past. I don't remember which book it was or for what reason. Past me might have had the right idea. I mean, I'm not disliking this book. For the record, I'm not disliking this book. It is just, it's one of the wackiest things that I've ever read. So this book's about our two main characters, Cammy and Chase. Cammy is, I don't even want to say a stereotypical nerdy girl, because her actions, I don't know if they are giving stereotypical nerdy shy girl, but she's really into writing Lord of the Rings fanfiction, if that gives you kind of like any indicator on what kind of person she is. We also get kind of insight into her personality besides her fanfiction, which is that she is kind of a loner. She FaceTimes her sister, one of the first chapters in the book. Her sister is apparently pretty cool and pretty beautiful. She is like encouraging Cammy to get out more and to make friends because it's her first year of college, and, you know, put yourself out there, be social, whatever. Cammy does not want to do this and lies to her sister and is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to a little hangout in the common room, and instead she again stays in to write her fanfiction. I don't have any issues with authors like, you know, writing nerdy introverted heroines. I think sometimes they're a little bit overwritten, and I feel like this was definitely the case here, laying it on pretty thick, okay? But that's not even the weird part. Cammy is really obsessed with this guy named Chase. He is a hockey player at their school, and he is insanely popular. Everybody thinks he's so hot. He gets all of the ladies. He doesn't just have like a passing casual crush on him. She like kind of goes out of her way to be able to see him. She's never really interacted with him, but she wants to see him I don't want to say at all costs, but okay, for instance, she needs to make ramen, and she could make ramen in her dorm room, but she goes to the common room so that she can catch a glimpse of him. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a casual crush, but at the same time, she's got it bad for this man. She thinks he's like really sexy. She thinks she has no chance with him because she doesn't see herself as very beautiful and blah, blah, blah. It's getting interesting pretty quickly. We have a situation in which the residence hall that they all live in, I don't want to say bursts into flames, but there's a problem with the sprinkler system or some shit. They all have to go and live in a hotel for a little while. And who should be assigned to Cammie's room? Chase. I guess Cammie's full name is Cameron, and so whoever made the room assignments assumed that she was a man. So now they're having to share a room together. That's not that weird, right? That's like a really normal setup for a book. What is weird is what happens next. They fuck. I'm not mad at it, even though it happens really early on in the book. What I am like a little bit confused by the speed at which our heroine gets into the situation. And like inevitably there's gonna be a little bit of a spoiler situation here. It's the first 20% of the book, right? I'm not gonna spoil like main plot points as the book carries on, but picture this. You are in a bed with a man, you are heading off to sleep, he moans your name in his sleep, and I guess wakes himself up, goes to the bathroom to take care of himself. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in on the action. So even though you were technically like this shy sort of wallflowery nerd, you're gonna take this opportunity because he said your name, and you're gonna go into the bathroom and see what happens next. And is there mutual masturbation? Yes. Does he see your Lord of the Rings panties drying next to the sink that say my precious? Yes. Do you both refer to your orifice as my precious from then on out during intercourse? You do. Have no words. I really have no words for that. That is a choice that I probably would not have made. It was a choice that was made, and I had to read that with my own eyeballs. So I think she like jokingly says something about like him seeing her underwear and asking if he wants to see her precious. Then she apologizes for saying that, and he's like, no, I like that. Keep calling it that. And so they do keep calling it that. And yes, they have sex more than one time. I don't know. Some of what's happening here interesting to me, and some of it is realistic, I guess. Is there an insta-lovey sort of situation going on? Yes. Is this guy like interested in more than just sex with her after having sex with her and after reading her fanfiction because she shares her fanfiction with him? Which again, like even if you weren't shy, like that just seems like really quick. Anyway, she shows him her fanfiction. He is like very into her. He has an attraction to her beyond just the physical. That's moving a little fast for me, I think. I don't really understand what about her is so appealing to him besides her like, you know, fucking quickly and writing fanfiction that's sexy. I don't know. I'm not seeing what he's seeing in her. I think what's most confounding to me, what is most perplexing, is the fact that her personality doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm not saying that you need to write to a stereotype. It is really confusing for me. And a character is obsessed with someone in secret, doesn't approach them ever, and is really, really nerdy and shy. All of the shyness dissipates, literally dissipates once she steps into that bathroom to like offer herself up. From then on out, she never shows any hint of shyness. Not even a hint of, I don't want to say remorse, but usually after you engage in a situation like this in a romance, the heroine does a little bit of backtracking, or at least like reflects on what's happened. None of that. She's like, oh, this is nice. I like to fuck. Let's do this. She's just very cavalier, very chill about everything. And again, I'm not saying that women shouldn't be chill about sex. I'm all for it. Just does not fit this character the way that she was set up. And I don't know, I'm just like really confused. This is maybe one of the weirdest things that I've ever read. I think for me, the realism lies in these two characters like hooking up and being into each other pretty quickly. I don't know, college is such a weird time. I don't want to say it doesn't exist there, but I guess it's like not totally unbelievable that he would be like into her really quickly. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to feel about this book. Interested in is where this is going, because they've already hooked up. He is interested in hooking up some more with her. So is that something that's going to continue to happen? How is this going to go from fucking to a relationship? It's anyone's guess. But I will be finding that out, right? So I'll check in with you.
Okay. The lighting is suspect. All right. But I just had dinner with this man over here, and I had to talk to you about this book. What I'm finding is that everybody's gonna find someone that matches their freak. Maybe not everyone, because I know some people die alone, but not in a romance novel, okay? And going on in this book is truly unmatched. This guy is obsessed with her precious. He wants to plunder her holes frequently. He also wants to date her. So they finally get back into the dorms, and she's kind of avoiding him because she's like, I don't want to just like keep hooking up with this guy. I mean, she does, but like, I don't know, she kind of wants to be respected as well or something. I'm not really sure. And he is like, why are you avoiding me, sexy? I want to date you. And she's like, well, okay, if you want to date me, that's fine. So I guess he's going to take her out on a date, and he's also going to munch her box again. It's part of their agreement. Yeah, that's the thrilling stuff that's happened since we last spoke. I wasn't expecting this video to be like this, but you know, sometimes the universe puts things in your path. I don't know if this is a stumbling block or a stepping stone, really, but we're here and we're reading. And I'm going to finish this book, and then I'm going to listen to the audiobook for Burnout by Rebecca Genshak, my first Rebecca Genshak. I'm hoping it's good. I've actually already started it, transparently, and it's yeah, definitely different than what we're currently reading, so take from that what you will.
Okay, so I finished Chase Lovett Likes Me, or whatever the fuck this book is called. I have such mixed feelings. The whole reading experience was chaotic as fuck. I'm torn because on the one hand, I really feel like this is for people who are much younger than me, right? The main characters in this are both 18. Oh, hi. I think that an 18-year-old might enjoy this. I, however, did not. I say that, like, it really was not bad. I think that, like, had more happened, like, had there been a better plot line, I might have given this 3 stars. That being said, I give it 2. I don't want to spoil too much, but the conflict of this book is that some people in the residence hall find out that our heroine been writing fan fiction, and they like make fun of her for that, and she like stands up for herself, right? And there's like other conflicts, I guess, in the book as well, with the hero like not fully understanding our heroine's reluctance to like go to hockey parties and like do stupid jock shit with him. He does learn eventually. Beyond those 2 things, so little happens in this book. I was just waiting for the plotline to kick in. I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for a relationship development to happen, but it just never did. Like, there's a moment where they go out on their date, like the first date they're ever gonna go on, and there's a paragraph that basically says, yeah, we talked about so many different things over the course of dinner, sports, our families, all these things. And I'm like, okay, but we would like to know these things. Like, that's kind of integral, I think, to relationship development in a book. Am I crazy? You're fucking, then you're gonna go on a date, and then you're gonna fuck some more, and we're never gonna get to see the chemistry. But our hero is insistent that he wants to be with her, and that he like wants to be with her forever, and he's fine with the fact that he's like only a first year and he's locking it down and like being in a relationship, being like tied down so early, like it's fine by him. Isn't very realistic, let's be real. But even if it were, what's the fucking basis? Like, I guess you like the Lord of the Rings smut she writes? You like that she's unconventionally pretty and is not obsessed with the fact that you're into hockey, that you're a hockey player? Head scratcher. It was really a head scratcher, and all the other stuff I stated too, with like the sex scenes of these books. The sex scenes themselves like weren't bad, but the My Precious did not stop. It happened every time. It happened when they weren't having sex. It was like in reference. She was like, I think I need my precious eaten. So, you know, make of that what you will. Like, maybe it's for you. I don't know that it's for me. Yeah, nothing about this really made sense. I'm not mad that I read it though. I think it was funny, and I got to make some fun Goodreads updates. So it is what it is. I think this is probably the last book that I'm gonna read by this author. DNF'd one, finished another. I just don't think our sensibilities really mesh, okay? And that's fine. That's fine. Not always gonna mesh with an author. I am having better luck with Burnout though by Rebecca Genshak. This is about our 2 main characters, Knox and Avery. Knox is a motocross guy. Avery is a really talented gymnast. She is in college. Knox is not, I believe. I think he like dropped out because he is the guardian for one of his younger brothers. His mom passed away. His dad ended up leaving after most of the kids were fully grown. But again, Knox is in charge of his youngest brother, who I think is like 17 or something like that. He is trying to actually follow his dreams now after some encouragement from his other brothers. Is going to get into the trick side of motocross, like the doing cool like handstands and shit on your bike. Finds out from a friend who's really good at this that Avery has actually helped him in the past like get his skills good, because, you know, it makes sense. She's a gymnast. She has really good control over her body and her musculature. Knox enlists her help, but they have kind of a weird meeting. I wouldn't say weird, but sort of like there's some animosity there. And then he like goes back to her, meeting her for the first time in a different context and being like, hey, could you help me? And she doesn't want to really, but she does help him, of course. There's a lot of banter. There's a lot of like playfulness. And at this 50% mark, they are boning, but not a relationship. You know, they're like keeping it casual, still have that kind of like playful animosity going on while she helps him. She, I should say, has a recent knee injury, which is causing her to be a little fearful of her gymnastic skills, and she's having a hard time kind of getting back to the place she was before her injury. So she's also going through some stuff. Contrast to that last book, these characters seem to have real lives and real issues going on beyond just I'm not a cool girl and girls just want to fuck me because I'm a hockey player. This actually, like, he's got a home life that is, you know, potentially challenging, and she's got an injury she's recovering from. It just feels a little bit more realistic, and I think the dialogue is better written as well. So 2 thumbs up for that. That being said, I'm not like enamored with this book. I think on paper I like it, and all of the things that I'm telling you I am enjoying, like I am appreciating that in contrast to what I was just reading, but I'm not like, oh my God, this is it. I'm sort of reflecting on the fact it's been a while since I've had that experience with a romance, and I'm just fingers crossed that will happen for me in this video. We have another book to read, which I'm very hopeful for. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Hello friends, I am sitting down to do my makeup and I thought we could chat about Burnout and then Endgame because I have started that one. So Burnout I did end up enjoying. I think I'm gonna give this book like 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I really felt like there was a good amount of effort put into, I'm gonna say convincing us that these two should be together, but like I think these two complemented each other very well, and I really did appreciate how there was kind of a transformation that the hero went on throughout the story. I mean, I guess the heroine kind of did as well in like gaining her confidence back, but I would say the majority of like the transformation in terms of character development was for our hero. He's a little, I don't want to say untrusting, but like he doesn't want to devote too much time to a romantic relationship because, you know, he's got other stuff in his life that is important to him, and he doesn't want to, I guess, offer false promises to the heroine even though he is into her. That's kind of like a recurring theme or thread in this book, is that like he likes her but he doesn't want to let her down because he has been let down by people in his life before and he doesn't want to be that kind of person. And like I think that is sweet and or makes sense for his character. I also thought that the sexier moments in this story were fun. You know, I'm a little critical of smutty scenes in books. I definitely was critical of the My Precious moments in the last book, but this one I liked the smutty scenes. I thought they were hot. They seemed to, again, like fit the characters. This wasn't like the most standout, amazing, swoon-worthy romance I've ever read, but it was just a very solid book. I would be happy to like recommend to people. This is maybe, I was gonna say niche. This is not niche. This is maybe an interesting comparison that others might not make. Something about this book kind of gave me like beautiful disaster vibes, minus the toxicity. I really feel like the hero in this book is kind of characterized in a certain way. Like maybe part of it is like the motorcycle connection, but I think a bigger part of it is like he has this sort of like ladies man persona going on at the beginning of the book, and like I don't do relationships. Also like the way these two kind of spend time together, for some reason it was just giving me beautiful disaster vibes, but again, like not the toxicity and like potentially problematic behavior in that book. It's been a while since I've read it, so I don't want to like cast too many aspersions, stones, whatever, but you know, I think most people agree that book like has some issues. Anyway, this one, similarities but like good differences, you know. So I did kind of like that. Actually, I say I like that because I feel like Beautiful Disaster was one of the first new adult books that I read back in the day, and I was like, oh my god, there are romance novels written that have characters who were in their 20s and in college. Oh my god, that was mind-blowing to me. Now it's like so many romance novels are written with characters in their, you know, 20s and trying to figure out their lives. But anyway, I liked this. I thought it was cute. I think that if you are looking for a fun romance that is not too serious but does have a plot line and characters with real issues, I guess, this is a solid one. I liked it. Since moved on to Endgame by Indie Valentine, and I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was so hyped for it, and I'm having a fun time with it, but I am noticing just, I don't know, issues for me in reading a debut author, I guess. I think my main issue with this one so far, and then I'll get into the nice things, is the writing. I think that for me, the writing is feeling a little bit unpolished, and at times it's kind of taking me out of the story. It's not like there's major like grammatical issues or anything, but I think the prose is not flowing as seamlessly as a lot of KU books. And honestly, I'm not expecting prose to be purple or super descriptive and lush for like any romance novel. I'm not expecting that. In fact, I kind of don't like that. I like a book that just kind of is a little bit to the point. It's to the point, but I just feel like there are some kind of interesting word choices or repeated phrases that I feel like maybe could have been, you know, changed. I don't know how to, you know, fully put it into words, but you know, if the writing is taking you out of a story, I think that is something to make note of. This book is about Callaway and Dakota. At the beginning of her story, Dakota is going through a hard time. She's getting a new license with a new address on it because she has since moved to a new place. For what reasons, we're not entirely sure, but she has, you know, moved, and she is grief-stricken. She's just not having a great day. Kind of wants to cry. Her car breaks down, or her truck breaks down when she's in the parking lot of, the DMV after getting her license. And she has her best friend's brother come and save her, essentially, like get her out of that situation. She doesn't like ask, hey, can Calloway come and help me? But her best friend Navy is like, hey, I'll get Calloway to come and help you, come pick you up. And he not only picks her up from the DMV, he overhears the conversation Dakota is having with her ex. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm gonna take you to the apartment that you need to go to like pick up your stuff. Basically we're getting the vibe that she has broken up with her boyfriend or been dumped by her ex-boyfriend, and she is going to be moving into a new apartment. And she needs to pick up some stuff from the old place. And Calloway like volunteers to go with her and help her out. And while he's there, he offers like support, honestly. He is really nice. The guy who our heroine used to date, his name's Trevor, he's not there, but he, left the place kind of a mess. And our heroine is like, oh, I should clean this while I'm here. And Calloway's like, why the fuck would you clean up after this guy who treated you like shit? Like, don't do that. Stand up for yourself, be strong. And our heroine kind of like needed that push. So I did like that interaction. So that happens. And then the moment that I'm at right now, we are about to go to a club with these two characters. They're not going together, but they're going to end up like seeing each other, meeting each other, I guess, at this club. Dakota is going with her friend Navy, who is again Calloway's sister. Our hero is a Major League Baseball player. I probably should have said that from the beginning, but he is going to also go to the club with his besties, the other guys on the baseball team. To add is that Dakota has recently gotten a job doing photography for the MLB team, and she's going to be starting very soon. So assuming that's also going to be a place where these two see each other often. So it's like they've already had this like kind of sweet interaction at the, apartment complex where he's helping her out. And then they're going to see each other at this club. And then she's also going to be working for the team. So interesting setup, I guess, so far. It's not like the most unique and original, but like I don't honestly really care if the setups for these books are super unique and original. I just think it's worth noting if you're looking for something really out of the box. This is like pretty standard. I don't know. It's tough. I think for me, I really am liking Calloway's character. He seems to be really into our heroine from the beginning, wants to pursue our heroine. I don't think he knows in what way yet, but he's 30 and he has like made statements in the book, and maybe even to his friends, I can't remember exactly, about wanting to kind of settle down and like have a family. And I like a guy who knows what they want. I think to me that's like much more appealing than a situation we were in where our hero was like, like I like you, but I just don't know if I can commit. It's just like not sexy to me. I like a guy who like knows what he wants. And in this book, Calloway definitely knows what he wants. Our heroine, I'm just a little bit more unsure of, and I understand that she's guarded because she's gone through some stuff. We find out that her family passed away recently. She's an only child, and her parents, I think, died in a car accident about a year ago, which is traumatizing and very sad. But I wish that we would have gotten into that a little bit earlier, if that makes sense. Like the heroine's obviously upset at the beginning of the book, but it's a little bit drawn out for my taste. I feel like, especially in Kindle Unlimited, you have the opportunity to kind of set things up immediately. And I do think there can be like suspense in, KU and other, romance formats, but sometimes you're better off just telling your audience, hey, this person's parents died, like right at the beginning, so we can, fully set the tone for why this person is acting the way that they are. Otherwise, I think it can kind of feel just a little bit melodramatic, maybe not give us like the best impression of a main character. I don't hate her or anything. I totally understand why she is the way that she is. Now that I like know about her parents, but it took us a while to get there, and I think that was like maybe a little bit of a mistake. Anyway, I'm reading it and I am getting more into the story as the book carries on. I think that the writing is, I wouldn't say like improving as the book goes on, but I'm getting more into the story, so I feel like the writing is kind of taking more of a backseat. Like I'm not noticing it quite as much, so hopefully that continues. I remain hopeful. I'm curious to see like what this story really turns into. Is it going to be kind of like a workplace romance, or is it going to be something different? I guess we'll see. As we keep reading. Final update for Endgame by Indy Valentine. I was going to update you at 50%, but I was still kind of unsure about how I was feeling. I didn't have any super like cogent, coherent, amazing thoughts for you. Not that this is going to be either of those things, but hopefully I can kind of get out what I felt about this book. And honestly, I did enjoy this book. I thought that the romance was not only super tender and sweet, but also really sexy. That was something I was a little bit wary of. I was a little bit nervous because I just really don't like books for the most part where characters hook up really early on. We didn't have that problem with the second book that I read for this video. We kind of did for the first. This book I feel like had really great pacing in that regard, and it gave us time to kind of build on the attraction and have that sort of will they won't they. So like the majority of this book is really spent with these two getting to know each other as friends, which I also wasn't expecting, but really appreciated. And then the relationship sort of forms over time as they realize their attraction for each other. I mean, they've known attraction for each other like the whole book, like they've been attracted to each other. It's not like enemies to lovers, but they start to realize that this relationship is more than just friendly. There's obviously obviously a sexual attraction there that they want to kind of act on. There's moments where like our hero saves our heroine, like when she's really shit-faced at a bar, or it's just like very much there for her. I just really liked Calloway. I thought that he was a really, really sweet hero. At the end of the book, there's this really, really sweet romantic gesture. There are just certain green flag things that are gonna get me every single time. I don't care if they are overdone in books. I like when the hero really sees the heroine and like knows what she needs. I really liked that. And I will say too, I know I complained a little bit maybe in the last clip that Dakota was maybe not the most, I don't want to say well fleshed out heroine, but like I know that I said I was like unsure how I felt about her. As the story continues on, I actually liked the moments of vulnerability that we got from her. I liked that our hero was determined, like understand her. The thing that I was like kind of unsure about, I will say, by the end of this book though, was the team aspect of it. I'll be honest, I thought that I was going to like the baseball aspects of the story more than I did. I think maybe it's just a sport that I don't enjoy. I mean, I know it's a sport that I don't enjoy. I was expecting to like, because I just like generally sports romances, totally into the sports aspect, and I don't know that I loved some of the side characters. I did like Bodhi and Navy. I'm not sure that I really enjoyed like all of the different guys in the like, what is it, Atlanta Boys? So I don't know, mixed feelings, generally speaking. I feel like I am being very animated. That's because I just had caffeine. But I wanted to say that this one did surprise me in a good way. I think this was a fun debut, and I think that if you are looking for a baseball romance that has a really like sweet and sexy tone to it, I think this one is a fun one. I mean, generally speaking, I didn't hate any of the books that I read for this video. Even Chase Levitt Likes Me, I thought was kind of fun. Like, was it crazy? Yeah. But I was just talking to a friend and I described this to them and she's like, I want to read that. Like, tell me what the title of that book is. So there are books out there for everybody, clearly. And even if a book isn't like the most perfect swoon-worthy, like, you know, checks all my boxes kind of thing, doesn't mean it's a bad book. So I don't know. I feel like I need to preemptively say that because I didn't give any of these books like 5 stars. But honestly, like a 2, 3, or 4, like that's fine. I don't think that like any of those ratings are particularly bad, but that's just me. That's all I got, y'all. Thanks for sticking with me. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!